Well, we are starting a micro topping removal, and I know that this looks just like ceramic tile, but it's actually not. If you get over here in the light correctly, you can see where the, this is really a bad micro topping job. You can see where all the swirl marks and stuff are put in here. Some of it's pretty bad over here. See it all through here. It's pretty bad. Some of it can actually kind of cut your feet on. Anyway, the customer wants to put tile down, but this floor is so unsuitable to put ceramic over, plus it wouldn't really bond. We're going to come through and take the micro topping off. It's going to be just like, taking off a bunch of thin set, but only thick thin set. Now, the customer has decided to put some plastic up. It was totally unnecessary. They've seen the videos, but I get a certain percentage of customers that just like to go the extra mile, so they put some paper up along their cabinets. It's not really even sealed, they just put some paper up there. In the videos that you'll see that wouldn't even have been necessary. Come down through here. Got a hallway through here. And down over here, the laundry room is going to stay. We do have a bathroom right here that we're going to do. And now the toilet's gone, I get an idea. They went around the toilet. So this stuff looks like it's anywhere from about maybe 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch thick. And I got to tell you folks, this was probably the worst micro topping job I've ever seen. And it's going to be a good thing that it's going to be eliminated. So. Okay, so this is John and Shirley L. And they live out here in the Santan Valley, also known as Queen Creek. And we just removed about 896 square feet of micro-topping, which was inside their home, preparing for a tile floor. And they'd like to tell you a little bit about how it turned out.
Well, after many bids, Jack probably proved to be the best solution. His promise of dust-free environment was superb. Absolutely, it's literally dust-free, and their quality of work is mind-boggling.
Awesome. It's beyond words, actually. It's beyond words of how good of a job his crew does. I mean, they came in here, they're very professional, they're very friendly, outgoing people, fun to talk with, and did a tremendous job, and right down to the very last of cleaning up the mess. I think they left it cleaner than what it was when they came in.
Obviously.
Yeah, so I am so satisfied with the work that Jack done, because it's just, it's unbelievable. I really thought I would have a mess when I got done, and there's none. There is absolutely none. And they're fast. I mean, they came in here and we're here at 7:15, started at 7:30, and here it is 3 o'clock, and they're all done and out of here. I mean, when we were told that it would take at least 3 days to do this, I mean, this is unreal. Unreal.
With the many bids we had, I think the quality of work way over is justified.
It is.
We had bids that were way over, we had bids that were way under, and I would never recommend anybody else.
I would honestly recommend him. I mean, for what you've done and the price and the whole works, it's well worth it. It's very well worth it.
Thank you guys so much. We appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. Well, everyone, it is now 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We arrived at 7 o'clock to remove micro-topping. And in that time, we've taken roughly about an hour break. And we've also came back through and done some major grinding at this spot right here. This was the site of a pretty large size hump here, along with this spot right here. So we've removed that. And we have done some major grinding right in through here. This was the site, these cracks right here where they T-intersect almost always will indicate that will be the highest point of the crack. And sure enough, it turned out like it was. And, I always try to give an explanation of concrete after we've ground it. And for those of you who are wondering, what on earth are all these white spots all over the place? Well, those are all the low spots, which this concrete floor literally had thousands of tiny little low spots all over the floor that as our grinders went over the floor, it left behind those areas as a type of filler. And then all of the gray areas that you see, well, if you look very close, you would see that we actually went through the cream and basically into the sand of the concrete. Well, those dark gray spots were all the high spots that were all over the floor. And you literally have thousands of these micro high spots all over the floor. And if you were to take a straight edge and set down on this floor, now this has not been professionally flattened with the DustRam system. If we were going to do that, we would come in with leveler and we would be able to flatten this to a 1/16 of an inch and 50 feet. Now the customer is going to be putting down ceramic tile. But what they really needed was our services to remove the old micro-topping, dust-free. And by the way, and folks, you'll probably realize that throughout a lot of the videos, you saw that the paper had been taken down. Well, Shirley was so excited. After about 15 minutes of us getting started, she realized really how clean that it was. She allowed us to pull down all the paper that they had hung up over the pantry and over the cabinets and that sort of thing. And we did the balance of the job literally without any plastic or anything up to do, to take care of this. But at any rate, getting back to the flooring and how flat it is, this is what it looks like after we have ground the floors. And this just shows how horrible the concrete really gets finished. And for those of you out there who are interested in decorative concrete, you have to understand that when you're calling me and you say, well, how much will it cost to grind all my thin set and get it ready for decorative concrete? Well, if you want actual decorative concrete, there would be a lot more work that would have to go into this type of floor, unless you were going to go back with a micro topping, in which case then you could go over all of the floor as it is and then stain it and do whatever you would want it to do. So concrete as a normal rule is not flat enough really to do anything with, unless you put in a lot of work to make it really nice and flat. Go down the hallway here. So here, and if you can tell, you can see how nicely we can edge. We can go around all the corners, and you can see all the outlines of all the little tack strip holes that were there. Those all get left in and filled in. Those are all really nice and smooth. We actually can get into all the corners. We can micro edge right up to about a 32nd of an inch, a 64th of an inch of any vertical surface. When we're in here grinding in these bathrooms, any concrete that's really bad around flanges, and normally concrete around flanges are pretty bad, we can flatten that. We clean that all up so that the new tile is going to go down really nice and smooth and even. So the tile guys really ought to have a pretty easy time doing this. And you know, we did all this really with no plastic up, and you can just see how beautiful and nice and clean it all is. For about the last 4 hours, we've actually had the AC running the whole time too. And then the AC can be run without any fear of contaminants in the air conditioning system or even in the ductwork. So it's a pretty neat process, and it's really beginning to catch a lot of people's attention. We have now some pretty big people in the industry that are starting to use our services. We've done work for Taliesin, which is part of the Frank Lloyd Wright Foundation. We've done some of their grinding for their projects because they've got to have it dust-free. We're part of the NARI Association. We've actually done some work for the president of the NARI Association for his own personal work. And it's just really beginning to blossom. Quite excited about it. So please, if you're ready for this kind of attention to detail, please give us a call. I would really be excited to talk with you about this. Thanks. Right before we load up all this dust to haul it off, I just wanted to show you what it looked like. This is just under 900 square feet of micro topping. And so we've got, 5 buckets here. These are 25-gallon buckets. You can see the dust that's down in here. Each one of these has roughly about the same amount in here. There's a good 1,000 pounds here, probably, maybe 1,100 pounds or so. But we captured all this and kept it out of the house. That's just the really great thing about the whole system.